Right, nice warm up. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, the streams look good. I'm gonna get the social up.
So shall I start playing first? After you introduce me?
Yeah, so I'll play the clips and yeah, as
Okay.
you feel
I'll
good.
play two songs and then we have a little break, yeah?
Perfect. So it's live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter now.
Awesome.
Hey, Leah, looks like I lost your video.
I'm back.
There you go.
Oh, you can move this anywhere you want.
You're mobile.
But if I move my screen, that's just for me. You can't see that I'm moving that.
No, you're not moving.
But I can't see you. I can only now I can see the
the holding screen. Yeah.
Waiting screen.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see.
Oh,
here's chats. Oh, and it's Leah, not Leia. You were saying Leah at the beginning, and then you switched to Leia. I know it's
Princess Leia. Princess Leia. Now I'm confused.
Exactly. People want to say Princess Leia. It's I know. My mother's name is. I'm Leah. It says Leah, okay. My mom is Mara, and everyone calls her Mara. Exactly. I'm the homely sister, the homely wife.
I think Leah gets into trouble though.
She's just ugly. She's Rachel's the one that he wants to marry, and then they put the veil on Leah and they make him marry ugly Leah. And they take off the veil and he's like, "Oh no, it's Leah, the homely one."
That's ultimately kind of a strange name for a child.
Well, it's I'm kind of named after my dad had a brother, Leo.
Oh, I see.
But Leah's also Aleister Crowley's partner was Leah, and there's many beautiful, magical Crowleyan poems written to Leah. So I prefer that to the biblical.
Okay. That sounds better. I like it. Okay, good. So we got Monica. Okay, so you guys are all here now. Cool. Oh, looking nice and bright. Thank you. Good lighting. Okay. I think we're in good shape, so we'll get started. Mm-hmm. Now, Monica, if you can just tilt your camera down a touch, we're just catching kind of the top of your chin. Oh, much better. Yeah. Right.
I can only see me. Is that what's supposed to be?
Yeah, you guys are all there.
I can only see me as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna change that in a second.
I mean, I don't like. Doesn't matter. I'm wondering if that's right.
Okay, how's everyone doing out there? Good evening, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Coming to you across the internet, across time and space. So we have New York, Brighton, and Berlin, and of course I'm in Camden. That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited. You guys are. I've been very lucky to listen to all of your music all day today, and super excited. Because you guys are all really great. I should say, you ladies are all great.
Ladies can be guys.
Yeah, is that okay?
I think guys is okay for everybody.
Okay. Good.
Unless you don't feel like a guys.
Guys, girl. A guy's lady.
Guys is good.
Yeah. I went to Vassar, so if you called a woman a guy, you gotten sent to the dean's office. Who is a woman, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, super excited. It's great to have you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm just, I think, let the music speak for itself. So we'll get going. So I'm going to throw in my little intro, and then we'll get the show started. Okay, ready? Yeah, that was good, just to get the mojo flowing there. So yeah,
that was thrilling.
It was thrilling, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was thrilling. It was the most fun I've had in weeks.
The best you can do is stock music in a small budget. So glad you were impressed. Yeah, so behind me you can see an empty stage, which I guess is a good metaphor for what's going on these days. So the only good news about this whole thing is we get to visit people's houses and watch them and hear them play great music in the comfort of their own home. So there's always something good somewhere if you dig hard enough. Yeah. So tonight.
Yeah, you can get the best of.
The best of. So tonight, Mishkin Fitzgerald, Bird Eats Baby. So hi, Mishkin. Big fan of yours for a while. Actually, we covered you in the blog maybe 8 months ago.
That's right, I remember.
Yeah, which was great.
Thank you.
And then we have Leah Hennessey from New York City, my hometown. So nice to see New York City represented, as it should be. And then I invited Monica from Stony Sugar Skull to drop in and say hi. She has a new album out, and we're just going to have a little quick chat about that. So how you doing, Monica?
Good, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the album. Actually, I have a clip I can play first. Let's see, where is it? This is one of the tracks. You just put it up on YouTube.
coming out of the ceiling because they had to. Oh yeah, they had to. See to work tonight. Oh yeah, they see to work tonight. See to work tonight. Oh yeah, they see to work tonight.
Yeah, that's great. Very dreamy. It's a very kind of dreamy, trippy, hypnotic kind of feel going across a lot of the tracks. You out there, Monica? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Tell us a little about the album. So, what's the story with the album?
Yeah, the album is kind of a mixture of different styles. There's some songs like That's It or Careful. It's more a little bit like krautrock, and there's some more dreamy shoegaze songs. I'm still working on it. I like to combine like various styles and see what comes out. And like philosophy-wise, I wanted to make the album like a story. So it starts like with a more of a loud song, it becomes a little bit noisy, and then behind is the story that our system breaks down, capitalistic system breaks down, and we have to make a new system, like a balance between technological advances and back to nature in us and around us and the environment in general. Right. And then the album slows down, and on the B-side you see more like the songs are also called, they have sometimes insect names like beehive, then it comes back to nature, and it becomes like first is noise, and then it goes down to reset, new beginning, new start. I try to show that in the music and in the lyrics, and yeah, I was surprised that it's actually happening now. I didn't know when breakdown is happening, but it was interesting that we are actually in the situation now. Yeah.
Predicted. I hope it doesn't get as dire as the B-side. There should be salvation somewhere.
No, it's like I think it's a beautiful song. The end, and then it starts. We try to make the world more beautiful than it was before.
I love the vibe and the whole album. I gotta say, I listened to it quite a few times, and I don't know. I had a chance to go to Berlin back in the '80s, and some of the clubs there were really trippy and kind of cool, and it had that kind of retro kind of feel to it, and the pace and some of the scrappiness of it. I got to play just a little clip off of the first track, which has some really nice sound to it. I could play the whole song, but just to give people a little taste of it, get them over to your website, buy the CD, buy the album, or follow you on Spotify. Yeah, it's really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Thank you.
The whole vibe of it is cool. It's just
Thanks.
So what plans? What's up next for you? You able to get out and play at all?
Yes, I was supposed to have an album release at Spree in Berlin, but unfortunately it got cancelled. And now like this week I'm actually playing 2 gigs, which are like spontaneously like, oh, okay, on Thursday it's also my birthday, so we can play in a little bar here. We make an event here, and on Saturday there's like in Mitte, they do a festival outside. And it's just like very spontaneous, like how gigs come together, and
slowly getting back.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, trying to, it's all interesting what happens. And Sunday we did a live stream, like trying to mix it up with like a little bit live, like concerts, and then also live stream. So yeah, but I'm working on my second album now.
More great. Keep making it. It's all good stuff. Anything different in the second album? What's your any main thoughts?
And the second album, I'm focusing on frequencies. Like I want to see like frequencies that like healing frequencies, but I also want to make it like a mixture of punk rock, crowd rock, and then slower things, like kind of similar.
You seem like really like a punk at heart. Deep down, when you peel everything back, you want to smash everything.
Well,
maybe a little.
A little mixture.
Cool. All right. Well, good luck with that. Thanks for dropping in, and let's get you back on the stream in a few weeks. It'd be great. Great to see you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah. No, it's great. I encourage everyone to go check out the album. It's great. You'll really enjoy it. It's Oh, nice.
Yeah. And this is the picture from the music video we just saw. I did it in Venice, in California. It was an amazing experience with Julie Jerome, filmmaker, great filmmaker there. And yeah.
Good. Well, it's a big relief to get an album done and out. So yeah, good job. Congratulations.
Yes, it takes some time. It was the first time I was like the whole process. I did an EP before, but this was a great learning experience to do the whole process.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course. Cool. Okay, well, nice to see you. We're going to get on with performances now, so we'll cut over and say hello to Mishkin. Hey, Mishkin.
Yo.
I have a little intro clip for you, which I dug out of the internet. Let me just go find it.
Oh, very good.
Let's see. Okay, let's get this going here.
I have seen your misery, how you've always had a hold over me. I so white to blind the fates, but your sleep has kept me so awake. From walls you rest alone, buried shallow under precious stone.
So this is our fifth album, and it's our most ambitious and complex one to date. We've decided to do a documentary about it because it's a really long album. It's got many layers to it, both musically and lyrically. So we thought it was time to give our fans a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at this monster of an album.
Wow. It's a good intro, I think.
Yeah, you picked some good clips. I like the fruity ones.
Yeah, that first one, it's like that balance between super sexy and super terrifying. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Birdie Snowbee kind of is that in many ways. You know, that's kind of what we do at our shows.
Right, keep people off balance, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, my dad ended up watching that music video. That wasn't a good conversation.
Yeah, what did he have to say?
Well, he pretty much was like, I'm going to cut you out of the family will.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, mission achieved. It's a good song. Your parents hate it. You did right.
Okay, good. No, was he really wealthy, or was that a big loss?
He was cool. Kind of.
Yeah, Mishkin's an interesting name. Is that an unusual name, Mishkin? I usually,
yeah,
I think of Mishkin, it sounds like
it's Russian. It's from a Russian book.
Okay.
A Russian book called The Idiot. It's by Dostoevsky. It's about a prince that is really kind and generous, and he gives everything away to everyone, and then they end up just taking everything from him, and he goes completely insane and ends up at the end of the book, I think he's in an asylum. So yeah,
that's an interesting name to be carrying around.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's a good name.
Excellent. Okay, well, I've had you sitting in front of the piano for a while, so I feel like it's time for you to get going. Your hands are going to start diving on the keys anyway.
Exactly. I'm going to start with a song called Better Man. It's off an EP we released a couple of years ago. Turns to the night. Watch me unraveling. I'd rather spend time with my friends than go through this shit again. Why can't you admit that you're not really managing? You'd rather spend time with your head than try to stop this. It doesn't take a fist to make an impression. Don't you tell me what it feels like. I'm calling out for repeating. Come on, give me a breeze. You know what I'm thinking. I am a better man than you. Now I know that you see that. As I look into the face of your favorite empire, would you tell me what
Yeah, it was great. That was great. Thank you. Can I ask you just make one quick adjustment and turn your mic up a touch again?
Yes, certainly.
Shame it. The piano is so powerful. We lost a little bit of the vocal track. So let's see if we can get that back.
Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of smashing the piano. I'll turn it down.
No, that's good. That sounds better.
How's that?
Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah.
I'll also stop hitting the piano so hard I get a bit excited.
That's okay.
I haven't played a gig in a long time. This next song is equally cheery. It's called A Box of Razor Blades. I've got a box of razor blades. I hear them shining in the sun. I'm gonna get myself a bullet, put it in your gun. You're gonna point it to my head. All those pretty things you made me do, I'll cut myself away from here, getting over you. We've got nothing left to live for. You and I are stone. But you've just got that friendly little smile to stop me going home. I'm never going home. I've got a box of razor blades, just like your teeth against my skin. I can see your knives around now. Are they ever going in? How well do you think you know me? Can you sleep track of two? 'Cause I've been secretly unfolding, getting over you. Don't you know that love won't ever be the answer? Oh, you bring me to my knees, bring me to my knees. distance from your calm composure. I'd lose it if I could. I'd lose it if I could. I feel you in my bones. Feel you in my bones. Oh, I could have been your angel of protection, but I'm better off alone. Better off alone. And now I keep your name tattooed across my shoulders. From your calm composure, I'd lose it if I could. I'd lose it if always having to be strong. If I hadn't been so stubborn, would I have to prove you wrong? I'll just keep my candle burning, let it flame across this sky. I only signed up for a lifetime. If you love me, let me die.
All right. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, what's the main thought in your head when you guys put pieces together for the band? Because you're doing some stuff that's really different.
I think actually we've grown together as a band, so it has collectively become the sound that it is today. I mean, me and Gary started the band in 2009, and it was very much, I felt at the time that I was kind of leading the band, and I had the ideas and I had the vision, and then as it grew into itself, you know, all of the music started to fuse together a little bit easier. But I mean, musically, the main thought, I guess, is that it has to be dark. Like, it has to be really dark and really introverted and weird sounding and alternative, and it has to stick out. You know, it's like when we construct songs, we want to really, really say something, and shape it musically in a really interesting way. You know, we don't like jam the songs. It usually takes a pretty long time to construct.
Yeah, the documentary is great. Talk about how you guys put it together. It's impressive.
Thanks. Well, it was actually the filmmaker's Mattis. He's actually like a big fan of the band, and then started to make the film, started to kind of come to shows and film the band, and then eventually it just turned into a documentary.
Wow.
So yeah, we were really lucky to work with them. It was great. I think the documentary came out great. We couldn't have said it better, you know.
No, it's great. It's great insight into how you guys operate and what crazy thoughts are rattling around your head.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, you have like serious musicians as well. I mean, you have strings, you have like very complicated compositions.
Yeah, actually, I kind of shot myself in the foot tonight because I haven't played a show in months, and then I sat down and was like, I'll just bust out a few songs, and I'm like, I can't play any of them. They're all really hard. But yeah, it's a good problem to have. You always have fun on stage when the songs are interesting. But yeah, we are all top musicians. I would hope. You know, I mean, I've been playing a really, really long time, and so has Gary.
How'd you first get into playing?
Sorry?
How'd you first get into music?
Through church, really. My mom is a vicar, and so I grew up singing in church choirs and doing that a lot on the weekends. And then I would sing in choirs at school as well, and just singing all the time when I was a kid. And that really gave me like the musical grounding that I needed. And then I would like play the church organ, play the church piano, play the band there. And then, then just took it, started writing my own music away from the church, and just developed it after that. And
you ever sneak back into the church to play the organ again? That'd be pretty cool. You ever sneak back into the church to play with the organ?
I mean, I would love to. I would love to play one of the really big ones. So it's only a small organ at the church that I grew up in, but I would love to do an introductory, song to a Birdie's Baby song. Would be great. I mean, I don't know if you saw the last record I put out was a piano solo record, and the cover is me sitting at an organ, but there's like an upside down cross, and
nice.
I'm naked. So it's all kinds of wrong. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I imagine it. When I go back into church, I'll just burst into flames.
Yeah, probably nothing that dramatic.
Yeah, no.
Cool. Yeah, so you said in the documentary that you've been playing for 13 years. This is the band. That's quite a long time for a band. How do you guys keep it together for so long?
I really don't know. Must be insane. I don't know. It was just the songs keep coming, and we keep wanting to write them and keep putting out albums. It's really, really fun. It's the best job ever. Right. It's really difficult, but I can't really see myself doing anything else. And until I stop writing songs for Birdie's Baby, and I don't want to do it, I don't really see it stopping. But it's not to say that it hasn't been insanely difficult. Like, we've nearly broken up a few times. You know, we've had some really, really traumatic experiences that we've all been through together as a band. And like, you know, most of the people who have been in the band with have been amazing, but some were destructive, and it was really difficult. Right. So,
well, you play dark stuff, you attract dark people sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so, and I think the music industry is a very dark place
to begin with. Yeah, even on a good day.
Yeah, I know.
Even on a good day, yeah.
But really, I mean, like, we're all such good friends, and most of the people that I have played in the band with, even the ones that have left, most of them are still very, very dear friends of mine. And I think the group mentality around this band is really strong, and it's you know, we take care of each other. We make sure that nobody is having a bad time, or if, you know, we're just really good mates, and I think that's incredibly important. I couldn't do
cool.
this.
You spend a lot of time with these people.
Friends. Yeah, I mean, me and Gary pretty much like grown up together with this band. Right. So it's it's amazing.
And how's the response to the album been so far?
Sorry?
How's the response to the new album?
Yeah, it's been really good, actually, really positive. I mean, yeah, our fans loved it. And we got a lot of good reviews. I think that were people were quite impressed. I mean, it's a huge album, so there was a lot to take in. Right. It was our longest album by a long way. It's almost double the length of the last one. And the themes were really difficult, and there was a lot more instrumentation. So I think the response has been really good, which is always nice.
Yeah. How has it been just distributing the word that there's a new album? Has that been easy, difficult?
I mean, we have like a label in Germany called Dr. Music, who are fantastic. So they've really got us into the right scene, because I think before, with every other album we've released, it through self-release, and then we've used that separate PR companies, but they've not really known how to market us because we are such a weird band. And these guys, Dr. Music, they're really into like the sort of the German metal and like symphonic rock, kind of these weird genres and niches that kind of don't get noticed, and they're really into that, and they're really into bands that are a bit different. So they've really helped us get into that scene. And we do a lot of promotion ourselves as well. So it's been good. I'd definitely say, like, you know, I wish it was more, but I think for a completely independent band, you know, doing it all ourselves, like, I'm pretty pleased with how it's been distributed. Yeah.
Right. Cool. Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you from the keyboards for too long.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So I'll play 2 more songs and then I'll leave it to Leah. So the next 2 songs I'm going to play are actually unreleased currently. They're going to be on my new solo record. My new band is going to be called Mishkin, Fitzgerald and the Chemical Perils, and it's just a little side project that I'm doing with pretty much the same members of British Baby, but the songs aren't really British Baby style. So anyway, I'm hoping to collaborate with a lot of people on this one. And this first one is called Goliath. I carried a dead man, heavy with road. He was a sly one to leave me alone, with the heart of a hunter and like a snake, looking for evidence all over my face. It dropped on my teeth. He slipped and he fell. White bells in his whiskey, but in the west, rust in his ribcage, and dust in his bones. If he was Goliath, I was a stone. I hired a mystic, release me her name. Tryst was ruin, fate's all but plain. I'm loving a death race across stormy seas. Sweet lies tuned to murder, tosses scream from me. Well, hell bless my fury, I turn to cool pain. Those classical bastards die in classical ways. The creak of the law and the howl of each game deliver her true name and fill the top sand. what you give me ain't fair, and you know when you are long lost, I find my way home. You wrecked my redemption. No glory, no gold. For a soul shall be born. A heart has been sold. Jump off the boat. Though the bar seems so slow to stand on perfection leaves a long way to fall. So don't you dare come around here. Don't you ever come back. My dead man's a ghost now. This vessel is cracked. Still, I wish you would call me. I feel so alone. We're two vipers entwined. Goliath and strong. I just have one more song left. This is called The Jackknife.
All right.
Spend another Sunday staring at the walls. This ceiling creaks with memories that I cannot recall. I will play his alibi to keep his poor hands clean. You can't see the dirt until the sun shines through. I meet him at the jackknife. I see it on the left. He kisses me with conviction and Mishkin on his breath. He'll share his latest terror. It's another guilty prize. Mixed in with the arrogance of his eyes. He takes from those who have it to gamble it away. What more don't matter when you're drinking on the day? Oh, my baby is a dead man, but he's good to me. try to change him. He's got no soul to save. You can't solve a crime when there's nobody in the grave. I've given you so many chances you really don't deserve. I swallow all my secrets and I'll never say a word. Oh, my baby is the devil. Oh, my baby is the devil.
Wow, great song. Great song. Wow.
Cheers.
Hard to know what to say after that. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, there's the last two will be out on my solo record, which I don't know when it's coming out, but soon.
Soon. Okay. I had one last question for you. What inspires you to write music?
Usually from real life scenarios, I would say. Definitely, I would draw a lot of inspiration from that. I've had a very interesting life. And I'm quite an emotional person, so I definitely feel things quite strongly. I'm very sensitive. I absorb everything, and I have to find a way to channel all of that emotion. Right. So putting it into music is perfect. So for me, writing is just essential. So I'll take whatever's going on in my head and I'll just pour it onto the piano. Often there's a little bit of added drama in the song to make it more.
What was that saying?
Obviously. Yeah. But for the most part, everything is based vaguely on real life or a person, but you can watch the documentary and find out. Yeah,
absolutely. I encourage people to do it. It's great, really interesting, and it's not very long. I love the. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I loved the found a box of fingernails hidden in your drawer line.
Thanks. It's
really
a horrific line.
Beautiful. Such a good image. Haunting. I won't forget that. That's really excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, what I also like about your music is the fact that it kind of moves through different tones, like and different emotions. That brings you down, brings you up. Mm-hmm. It's not just flat. I think that's very engaging and stimulating.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been called theatrical a lot. I think I'm quite influenced by music theatre as well. So I would definitely say that whole crazy roller coaster of emotions definitely come from that as well.
Yeah, that's great. Makes it really interesting. What's on the horizon? Any gigs coming up? Any chance to see on stage?
We're not actually going to tour again until next year, until we're sure of what's happening. We did have a tour this year, and this year we were going to play in Europe. We play a lot in Germany, and we were going to go to America, but obviously that didn't happen. Right. So we're pushing them over to next year. But what we've decided to do is just start our next record a bit earlier. So we've got a new Brody's Baby record, a few songs sort of in demo stages right now. It's called Hex, and it's going to be very, very weird as usual.
Hope so. 6th album, it's just got to keep going.
Right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's just going to keep going.
Where are you going to record that?
Right here. This is actually my studio.
Okay. Right.
As well. We've been building over the years. It's just a small music room. But yeah, we're just going to, I think for the first time, we're going to produce our own record. This will be album number 6, and we've done enough recording and enough work now to know exactly how.
It's a general idea what to do, which buttons to press.
Yeah, totally. And we've been producing other people's music for some time now, so I think now we're ready to take on our own album. And it's going to be really exciting. It'll be quite a difficult, long process, but I think we've got the time now.
Yeah, indeed. Well, thank you so much, Mishkin. It was great set. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Leah, you ready?
Yes, I'm right here.
All right, I have a little intro clip for you also, if I can find it. Here we go. Dug straight, fresh off the internet. Let's see what I got.
Let's see it.
Dress me up like an eagle, babe. Everyone looks beautiful when we remember what our parents forgot. Let's pretend it's the 80s. Let's pretend it's the 80s. Let's act like we've got money to blow. But it's nothing compared to what we do to each other. To each other. Because we will not be lovers. No, 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 no. We will not be lovers.
Those are really fun.
I
Those are
love
really
it.
good.
I love it. I was singing along.
Yeah.
I love the videos.
The
I'm
videos
so
are great.
happy they're not. It's so good to see them not in my editing program and to see someone else playing them. I'm like,
No effort
not
involved.
touching them ever
No
again.
effort involved.
So great. I'm like, they're done. I never thought they'd be done. There they are. They're done. Someone can look at them.
Really good fun. I think you
Thank
really
you.
had enjoyed it, and it comes through.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yes,
I love making music videos. I feel like I hate using the term multidisciplinary artist because I think it just makes you sound like a dilettante, like
Right.
jack of all trades, master of none, which may be true. But you know, when I write songs, one of the first things I think about is like, what could the music video be? You know,
Well, you're
So
a visual
it's-
person,
I
so
love-
it makes sense.
I love music videos. They're one of my favorite art forms.
I think it's a way people access music. Also, they see it, they hear it, a package kind of catches their attention.
Yeah, I immediately want to see the visuals. I know some artists, you know, the song you just played that we'll see again later is
Right.
a cover of a song by a band called the Waterboys.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
an 80s Scottish band. And Mike Scott, the songwriter and lead singer of that band, famously hates music videos and didn't want to make music videos for his songs. And he's really adamantly like, you know, if you need a video to give you the imagery for the song, then the song isn't doing its work and the song should provide the imagery.
Pretty
And
hardcore.
yeah, I get it, but I really, as soon as I hear a song, I want to see the artwork for it. You know, ideally I'd like to hold the artwork. I want to see the artist's vision for it. And you know, sometimes I hear a song and then it's a long time before I see a visual for it, and then
Right.
you know, it can
Well,
really
most
make or
artists have
break
like
it.
absolutely nothing to do with their videos. They just show up on a stage somewhere and some director moves them
That's
around.
not
and-
true. That's actually not true, because I used to work in pop music video production, and you'd be shocked at the level of input that huge
Okay.
pop stars have into the minutiae of their videos, and they will send you things they're into and things they're not into, and they will have random ultimatums.
Example.
And
Give it
rules
one.
and-
There must be some random thing you can remember.
I don't know. Like, oh God, what was that horrible? I don't know. I mean, I'll just say, like, there was a band, I won't say who, but there was a band we were working on a video for, and we wrote this incredible treatment about this like derelict alcoholic clown. It was very like Shakes the Clown, that movie. And
I hate
it
clowns.
worked so
I hate
well.
clowns.
It's worked so well with the music, and it was so funny, and the label liked it, and the reps liked it, and everyone was set to go. And then the artist was like, yeah, I like this, but no clowns. Like, no clowns for me.
Ever. No clowns ever.
And we were kind of like, well, that's the main idea. The main idea is clowns. And he was like, no, we could do the video, but with no clowns. And so we kind of like tried to scramble, like figure out what it could be besides a clown. And then by that time, that, you know, lost the job. So I think like it's surprising. Artists really are very particular about, and they usually have pretty intimate relationships with, you know, video directors.
Right. It's very
But-
sophisticated now.
Yeah, especially now because I think maybe back in the day, in the 90s or something, when you could spend, $2 million on a video.
Yeah, of course.
I think sometimes people would just throw money at it and walk away. But now, like
the good old days,
every, $5 expense counts. So artists really want to make sure the video expresses their ethos.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that makes sense because then they're more involved and they're closer to it, more meaningful to them.
Yeah, and I think people are increasingly visually literate. Like kids today have a much more sophisticated visual sense from just being bombarded with images. So, like, they're much more discerning.
Yeah.
Between something looking.
I have 2 teenagers at home. I'm not sure discerning is the right word, but they're at least more aware.
But it's weird. But I feel like maybe it's not discerning in a good way. But for instance, like teenagers who are into fashion, teenagers who were into fashion 10 years ago, they might kind of know about the fashion that was being sold to them and their demographic. But teenagers today, they see so many images of, for example, fashion, that they have like a very highly developed visual sense. Like they can tell from the quality of a photo if it's like from the early 70s or the late 70s. And it's like, how do you fucking know that? Like, you don't know anything about that. But they are on the internet all day
images.
and
they
see so many images that they are discerning. It might not be it might not be developing their taste, but they do have specific visual processing systems. And I think that's kind of the game with marketing to the kids.
Take advantage of all these kids.
Have you
seen these fake avatars? This really amuses me.
No, what's the fake avatars?
So on Instagram, as example, they have 3D characters that aren't real people. They're marketing characters, but they look totally real. And they wear clothes and they do all the stuff. They interact, and they, it's a cheap way to get. Instead of buying an influencer, you just make one.
Yeah, deep fake influencer.
Yeah.
I had like a fake argument with my friend the other day where I was kind of trolling her, and I was saying that deep fake artificial intelligences have rights too, and that we should be and that we should be on the right side of history and give them their which is there are people who believe that, and I was kind of just playing with the idea, and she got she really hit me with some very well researched knowledge and was trying to talk about how the threat of artificial superintelligence is really like a red herring for to kind of keep you from realizing that a lot of this digital labor is actually being performed by human slaves and not by artificial intelligence and everything.
Right? Which is better.
Yeah, and so she really hit me with it and was like, don't start running your mouth about rights for artificial intelligence when we have more people enslaved on this planet now than we have ever had. And I was like, fair play, that's true. I don't want to be a troll like that. But
anyway, back to music, because you and I could talk about this stuff forever. So my background's
let's see a clip.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Oh, your background's in programming, right?
Computer programming, yeah. I wrote algorithms and AI and all this stuff. So yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Topic. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Hey, so set it up. So you had really great.
Oh, so we did it. So we have this great relationship with this club in New York called the Bowery Electric. It's like a fantastic, perfectly sized club.
You're in New York.
That we love to
just
play
so
at.
that people know you're
we're in New York. We're in Manhattan. Yeah. We're a New York band.
I'm from New York also, and you and I are both talking so fast that half the people can't understand us. So
yes, we are from. I am from New York City, and I am lived here my whole life, and we play downtown in Manhattan, sometimes Brooklyn, but we're really a rare Manhattan band. Manhattan is not really known for its music scene right now, but we are a Manhattan-based band. Okay. And we play at this club, the Bowery Electric, a lot. And in lockdown, they've been doing these great live streams. So we did a live stream there, and we're gearing up to do another one, which is going to be a higher production value, even more elaborate, on September 12th. But here's a clip from the first song we ever released, which is called Sleeping Beauty.
Okay. Off we go.
Jesus on the big screen. Beauty, dreaming of boredom, dreaming of lonely boys waiting for your call. You keep them young, you keep them forever young. You keep them wanting, lonely, holding, looking for your face in every limousine. Don't let it go, don't let it go. Sleep in beauty. Don't let it go, don't let it go. Sleep in beauty. Don't wake up, don't wake up. Sleep in beauty. Lonely, you're so perfectly lonely. Twin Jesus on the big screen. You're getting dangerous now. If you keep it up, you will never have to wake up. If you keep me wanting, lonely, haunted, waiting for your ride once upon a dream. Don't let it go, don't let it go. Sleep in beauty. Don't let it go, don't let it go. Sleep in beauty. Don't wake up, don't wake up. Sleep in beauty. Beauty, dreaming of boredom, dreaming of beauty, dreaming of love, 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 love. Beauty, dreaming of boredom, dreaming of lonely boys waiting for your call. Let me touch you so I know you're real. Let me touch you so I know you're real. Let me touch you so I know you're real. I wanna stay in the radiance, but I can't bear, no I can't bear. Hard to love me, you so perfectly lonely. Beauty, sleep in beauty. Sleep in beauty. Sleep in beauty. Beauty, dreaming of boredom, dreaming of beauty, dreaming of love, 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 love.
I'm here. Yay, I'm clapping for myself. Hello.
Are you off here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Hi, I can hear you. Hi.
Yeah, sorry. There we go. We got everyone back here. Yes, that's a great track. That's a great track.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like the tutu. It looks
Yeah,
like
that
it
was-
jumped out of a jewelry box or something.
That's great. My friend who is directing our new video said that this performance looked like everyone was in a tiny jewelry box, because we were talking about, what it's like to watch these live streams, and he was like, it was amazing. It was like looking into a tiny jewelry box. I guess he watched us on his phone. That's kind of what I was going for.
Cool. Yeah, so tell us about your music. How'd you get into it? Like, what's going on in your head?
Well, I'll talk about this band in particular. This band, Hennessey, started with a group of songs I wrote, and I had always written songs in a desultory, kind of unfocused way, and I wrote a lot of comedy songs. Actually, was how I really honed my craft, writing parody songs and comedy songs. And Weird Al Yankovic actually has my birthday. We're star twins, so inspiration. But yeah, I used to write comedy songs for this web series I did, and I wrote real songs, emotional songs, personal songs also, but in a rather unfocused way. And then a couple years ago, I decided that I had the feeling that there was something missing in my life, and that I would never be happy until I was making my own music. And usually when I have thoughts like that, I won't ever be happy if. Right. It's usually an illusion, but in this case, I thought, there's nothing to lose. Why don't I just accept this as truth, that maybe I won't ever be happy if I'm not making my own music, why not? And
but you can actually,
of course,
sing.
I felt,
some people say that and they can't sing. You can actually sing.
Thank you. Well, I always sang. I always did sing, and it was interesting hearing Mishkin talk about her background, because I also started singing in choir at my school, and I was in a children's choir, and I sang a little opera. My big role as a kid was I was one of the three sprites in a production of The Magic Flute. That was like the biggest I ever thought I'd get. I felt like a huge star, being one of the little boys in like a beret. And so I did always sing. And I always loved to sing, but I really never considered myself a musician. And even though I had this nagging urge and desire to make music and write music, I never put in the time as an instrumentalist, or really, my understanding of music theory or music at all is very basic, and it comes from singing choir and singing opera as a child. That's really the only reason I know any notes or scales or any chords or anything. But I always surrounded myself with talented musicians, and musicians I admired and stuff. And I always sang, and I was always a writer, and I was always a performer. So even though I wasn't always working at playing music, I was always working at writing and performing in some way, and singing a little bit. So I realized that I needed to make my own music that wasn't comedy music.
Real music.
And real music.
Adult music,
yeah, and I started I started going to this open mic downtown at, I don't know if you're familiar with the Music Inn, but it's been around since the late 50s.
Oh, wow.
And like Bob Dylan used to hang out there or whatever.
Okay.
And it was it's like the kind of world music shop in New York. So it's where you go if you want like a didgeridoo or a waterphone or something, you go to the Music Inn. And they have an open mic, and I started going there every Thursday, and every Thursday I had to write a new song and perform it. And Sleeping Beauty was one of the songs I did there with a garage band backing track that I played all on musical typing. And I played like one chord on the guitar by myself. And so that's kind of how all these songs were born. And then I roped some musicians into making a band.
So these songs, actually, you've had them in the bag for a while, finally?
Well, no, that one. I mean, I write songs all the time now. And so I did that for a year, and I wrote a bunch of songs that way. And then I started the band, and then I kind of had so many songs, I didn't need to keep writing songs for a couple months, and I felt like they would never run out. And then I ran out, and then in lockdown, kind of to go back to the old Thursday routine was a few of my friends who are songwriters and I started a songwriting group on Zoom, and every Thursday, same time as the Mishkin, actually, every Thursday at 8 we have to meet and play each other a new song we've written.
Okay.
So
nice.
As a result of that, we've each written I think we've each written 18 new songs, which is incredible. You know, if 2 of those are good, then it's like a major success. Fantastic. So now I've really learned to write songs, but I definitely force it. Like I don't, and I think a lot of the best songs I've written are, didn't come out of any intense emotional moment or even inspiration. Like a lot of the best songs I've written were on days where it was like 6 o'clock and
you had to show up your call.
I gotta go to the music. Yeah, exactly. And I'll be like, writing like 2 seconds before, and I'm gonna be 10 minutes late, and then I'll bang it out. And sometimes those are really good. So right. That's kind of how I write.
Okay. So what do you got? What we got next? Let's get some more music going.
So next
Hurricane.
Nobody Lives Like the Hurricane. Oh, this was a song. Okay, I'll just say this was actually a song I wrote also to go to an open mic, and I wrote this on a day when I thought I had no feelings, and I thought I had nothing to say and nothing in my heart, and I felt completely empty. And I wrote this song, and then I realized immediately that obviously I was full of feeling and emotion, but that I was shut down or something. But yeah, this came out of another one of those kind of days.
Nice. Hurricane. Cool.
Like you're waiting to
I love getting to watch the show and getting to see what the other guys are doing, because during the show I really am not, I'm very not aware. Right. I really just listen to the beat. But it's so funny because so we have two guitar players, Noah and Malachi, and we don't usually have them both at the same time because Malachi left us and moved to London, actually, where he's ripping it up at Goldsmiths. And but when he's in town, we all play together. And it's so funny watching them play because that the lead line that Noah's playing, he's playing on an e-bow, which is it's like an electronic bow. So it's like if you want to play sound, that. Yeah, that like it's very Robert Fripp uses an e-bow a lot. It's like the lead line on Heroes was actually not played on an e-bow, but if you wanted to recreate it, you could play it on an e-bow. But it's so funny because I wrote that 3-line lead, like with my cretinous kind of music ideas, and it's so great seeing like a really amazing musician like Noah
and ran with it.
Yeah, like picking it up and sticking to it, but making it so elegant and expressive. It's so cool watching him. Never really get to. I mean, I should watch him when he's playing, but I'm kind of like, I'm like that.
You're in the zone. You're in the zone. I like them with the masks on. They look like some kind of weird cult or something.
Yeah, they look great with the masks on. I feel like they all really. I feel like they all really rock the mask in their own way.
Yeah, I guess we should get used to that look.
I know. I saw that. I didn't see the VMAs, but I saw that Lady Gaga she's trying to really like normalize the mask wearing, and even if she's alone on the stage, she'll wear a mask, and I think that's admirable. I mean, I'm not doing that, but it's.
People seem to have a real issue with the bloody mask, which I don't get. It's like some affront to your individuality. I
mean, Americans are just stupid. They're the ones. When we say people, we know. Yeah, we know what we mean.
Yeah, but people are stupid here. They had a big rally over the weekend.
It's. I think it is an affront to people's identity in some. I mean, I think it's also just to be contrary, but there is some truth to it. Like, I was telling my friends that, women often will talk about and complain about being catcalled on the street, right? And guys following them and saying stuff. Right. And I always felt like kind of an asshole because I never really had a big problem with that. And I'd say, like what? Like someone says something and says like, oh, hey, sexy. And I'd be like, whatever, and I'm very little. And I was kind of oblivious to the harassment, and was very lucky, like very, very, very lucky,
right.
And very protected. Really yeah. And what I have to say is that in COVID, walking around with a mask, suddenly I get it. And suddenly I'm having guys like following me down the street, like whispering like obscene, ridiculous things under their breath. And I'm like, what is this? Like, and I realize like maybe it's because when I walk around without a mask, I'm just walking around like I'm walking around like
somehow more vulnerable.
Come near me. Right. I'm like, and with the mask, it is dehumanizing, right. And it is objectifying, and it does make you just like a body gliding down the street, and
interesting, and
it makes you more vulnerable, and. So I haven't heard anyone talking about that, and I hope no one uses that for the anti-mask rhetoric. I wish I hadn't said it, but I think it does make people feel really vulnerable and anonymous in a way that is scary. Except
I'm getting used to it. I got to say, I wasn't comfortable putting it on at first, but you put it on a few times, and then whatever. It's like putting on your sunglasses. You just put it on.
The best thing about wearing the mask is that you can go to I can go to like a really trendy neighborhood where I'm liable to run into a lot of people, and I can wear the mask and nobody notices me or talks to me. Right. And it's heaven. It's like I see someone and I'm like, oh, fuck, that's someone I don't want to see. And I'll walk right by them and they have no idea it's me. So that is like, I think I might, even if
right.
we get through this, I might keep wearing a mask.
You have to wear the white paper one, otherwise you'll be too easily identified.
People don't even look. They just they just look at they just look at the kind of general the like fuzzy outline of your body. They don't even look. I mean, I'm also like, I'm like almost, I've never been diagnosed with this, but I've diagnosed myself with a prosopagnosia, which is face blindness. And I really
you don't recognize people.
I don't recognize people. I based on their faces. Like I have an incredible ear for voices and people's mannerisms, and I can tell by some way someone walks. But if like someone that I know cuts their hair, it's terrifying. And I'm like not sure who. I'm sometimes not sure who they are. But some people just say that's because I don't pay attention and that I'm self-involved. But I think it's face blindness.
I had a software developer I work with, and we once sat around a room with about 10 people. And, people in business meetings introduce themselves. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I do this, whatever. It's like a big activity. Yeah. Usually I make a little seating plan and try to write everyone's name and title and whatever.
So smart.
And so I missed half the names because it went around too fast. And I spoke to my developer, who is a super smart guy. And I said, did you get the names of these 5 people on your side of the table? And he's like, oh, I never write down anyone's name. And I was like, but you were making notes. What notes did you make? He goes, well, I just gave them all numbers. So number 5, 6, and 7, I can tell you what they do, but I didn't bother to write down their names.
Whoa. I mean, efficiency, I'm not going to knock it. What's weird about, it's crazy. What's weird about what I've read about prosopagnosia, which Oliver Sacks wrote about it a lot, because I think he had it to an extent. But what's weird about it is that the part of your brain that knows if you know someone is different from the part of your brain that recognizes faces. So for me, I've never been diagnosed with this. I'm just saying I have it. But for me, I have noticed that if I see someone, I do have a sense of whether I've met them or not. And I have a clear sense of familiarity or not knowing, but I have no way to place them.
Right. Like
if there's no clues, I'm completely in the dark, but I will kind of know how well I know them. So I've like walked up to people on the street and, like a hug and a kiss and long conversation. We walk away and then someone will say like, who was that? And I'll be like, I actually have no idea, but I know it's someone I know. I know them pretty well and they know a lot about me. So
you can steal their wallet next time.
Oh, it's really a curse. And the masks, it's just like, there's no way. Yeah, it's hopeless.
Let's throw another one of your,
we're gonna hear another song?
Clips up. Yeah. So this one is Nobody Like This Anymore.
Oh, Nobody Lives Like This Anymore. This is Nobody Lives Like This Anymore. And this I wrote this pre-COVID, but it really makes a lot more literal sense, I think, now in this reality, and I relate to now. But I wrote it right before this all happened, and we'll see why it seems relevant. We'll determine if it seems relevant or not.
Okay, here we go.
Get
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, everything you thought was important doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's a dislocated period, right? It's disrupted, it's disjointed. Hard to see how we reconnect with where we were just even 6 months ago.
Yeah, and when I wrote that song, I was really feeling so disconnected culturally, and I say the lyric, "You'll die like a hoarder underneath your paper," and it's like I felt like such an archaic kind of alien creature, fetishizing these obsolete, arcane things, and the fetishization of paper and tangible things, and then everyone else has moved on to this totally monetized corporate digital world, and I just felt like there was no way I could let alone compete. There was no way I could connect, and I really felt like all the things that I had grown up believing in and caring about had no relevance and held no sway in the world outside of my apartment. But you know what, I have to say, in this new world I have a lot more hope, actually, and I think that more people than ever are questioning what's important, and what asking themselves the big questions, and what's worth living for. And I think I'm seeing more people admit to kind of caring about irrelevant or frivolous or arcane or obsolete things.
Yeah. You're a big reader. You like to read, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I don't feel like
one of your press photos, you had a copy of Byron, which I thought was
somewhat
unusual.
Yeah, I have an obsession with Lord Byron, like a lot of people do.
I don't think a lot of
working
people,
on,
not anymore. Maybe like 200 years ago.
Well, it's interesting. Yes, Lord Byron was the first sex symbol, really, in mass culture, and it's true. A lot of people used to be very obsessed with him, but even now, there are these really fascinating niches of the internet, like on Tumblr and stuff, where there's like a sizable number of teenage girls, for instance, who are obsessed with like Byron and Shelley, and it's really like a kind of memed version of them. Like, I don't know how much they really dig into the poetry, but they are obsessed with these characters. And like, if you look up #romanticism, you get a lot of like wedding photos, but you also get lots of like memes about Lord Byron. It's incredible. I'm working on an ongoing project that's about Byron and Shelley, but I was kind of on like a becoming Byron thing the past year, and made a
your little outfit in that second video clip kind of looked a Byron kind of thing going on.
Yeah, that's exactly a Byron outfit. That video is supposed to be, and the handwriting in "We Will Not Be Lovers" is the handwriting is a font called Byron, and it's a recreation of his handwriting that we animated. So nice. Lots of little Easter eggs. Okay. But I went to
Byron cult still lives. That's nice to know.
The Byron cult still lives. I made a pilgrimage to his house last year in Geneva. I did a artist residency at CERN, which was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Going to CERN and seeing the particle colliders is unreal.
But you can go in there and watch it.
Yes, you can. You can't go on while it's on, but you can go in.
For good reason.
No, you cannot be in the particle colliders when they're colliding particles, but you can go down and walk in the colliders where they do it, and it's incredible looking, and it looks like Mousetrap or like a Rube Goldberg. Right. It doesn't look high tech.
Insane thing.
It looks like totally handmade, and so we did an artist residency at CERN, and then went into town and went to Byron's house. It was like the best thing. Best time of my life.
Excellent.
And so this last song is the video for this is a tribute to Byron also. And the song is called "We Will Not Be Lovers," and it's a cover, as I said, of the Waterboys song. And this is on our EP, which comes out September 11th, which is very soon. And it comes out on Velvet Elk Records, and it's our first EP. It's our first release that's not a single. and we're going to do another show to celebrate this on September 12th. But this was the second single off of the EP, and it's usually the finale for our shows, and sometimes it's like 15 minutes or 20 minutes long, and we've been trying to do shorter and shorter versions. We were asked to do a 3:30 radio edit, and we were like, this is a 12-minute song, how can we do a 3:30 radio edit? But yeah, and it's the original We Will Not Be Lovers is like a trad folk rock jam with like a fiddle lead, right. And so this is like our dance punk cover, but it's one of my favorite songs ever, and I still can't believe I get to sing it in front of people. Nice. They're one of my favorite bands.
That is a great.
And Mike Scott said it was, and he said it was. Mike Scott said it was good. So.
Oh wow. There you go.
He gave us his approval, which meant
he's happy.
Like,
he's like, yeah, that's okay
meant,
for whatever music. You're
that's kind of what he said. He was like cool and dark, and I was like, cool and dark. That's all I ever wanted, you know. So he liked it on Twitter.
That is a good intro to the song. Let's hear it.
You just stepped into the main track, climbed down off the fence. Words are your weapon, lies are your defense. I know what you want, and I see what you see. You're looking for somebody, but he isn't me. Find yourself another. We will not be lovers. Now your eyes are like torches. Your presence is bliss. I never knew time could speed and zip like this. Touch of your flesh, it's tough to resist. Planets collide. It's like a kiss, but you can kiss your brother. Cause we will not be lovers. Now you've been pulling down curtains, sparking on flames, causing disturbance, crying for shame. You've been knocking on doors. You've been abusing my name. You've been casting up doubt. You've been throwing the blame, but you can't throw it at your mother. At your mother. Because we will not be lovers. Now the world's full of trouble. Everybody's scared. Landlords are frowning. Cupboards are bare. People are scrambling
Yeah, it was great. Big finish.
It's so crazy we used to get to do that all the time.
Really good.
You know?
I like that little, it sounds like a little Midnight Express track underneath there.
Yeah, it's like it's the bass line is very, very heavily influenced by Donna Summer, I Feel Love.
Right.
It's not quite plagiarized, but it's very close. Do, 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 do. You know?
Yeah.
That was kind of the key
same
to the whole thing.
composer who wrote Midnight
Giorgio
Express.
Moroder.
Yeah, Moroder. Good stuff.
Yeah, isn't it so crazy that we used to be able to play live like all the time?
I know. I love playing those clips, but it makes you just miss live music all that much more. See you guys.
Yeah, and I think it's not the same. It has its own advantages. I mean, I have to say, I love seeing a great band. I love seeing a great show, but I do get rather distracted at shows and wander off. And seeing shows online, you really have to watch in a different way. And there are some benefits. There are some upsides to seeing a taped performance.
Yeah, well, you can study it more, but you feel it less because you're not.
You feel it a lot less,
moment,
yeah.
You know, I think like we started the Camden project because there's so much great music going through Camden, and you know, okay, because everyone listens to music on their headphones and they plug in playlists and all this kind of stuff, and you definitely experience music in a totally different way than when you're there in a club with the musicians playing their hearts out, and. I always think for me, that's the real experience. Everything else is a derivative of that experience.
Yeah.
And then you just play music in your headphones to remind you of that, immediate, not meaningful, but like immediate experience that you had with an audience, with the band.
It's true. And it's amazing. Sometimes you'll see a song live for the first time and you'll remember all the lyrics afterwards. I mean, I remember I saw that song, We Will Not Be Lovers. I heard it for the first time live at a Waterboys show. And by the time I went home, I knew almost all the lyrics from hearing it once because I was so present in the moment that I heard everything he was saying. And you never have that from watching something pre-recorded. Yeah. You're just not in time in the same way.
Yeah, it's like the big thing now that I struggle with my kids, actually, who are teenagers, is the lo-fi kind of superficial connection with a lot of stuff versus, the real experience and understanding music as it's played live, but also with a higher fidelity and listening to it and understanding how the instruments.
It's interesting thinking of the fidelity as the depth of interaction too is interesting. I'm always just surprised by people of any age who interact with music in a non-obsessive way. And I think there's people in every generation who are like that, who, they have music on in the background, or they, they can't really tell you what artists they love. But I think that,
most people like that,
I don't get that. I've just always been such an obsessive person, but I have to say, I think that, again, like I was saying earlier about the kids today, and their discernment, like our guitar player Maliki, the one who left us to go to London, he's like 19 years old and he knows every cool band that ever existed, every cool subgenre. He has very specific and elevated taste, but he knows everything. I mean, you'll mention like the most obscure one album krautrock band and he's like, oh yeah, like this song, and he can play it. And it's like, and it's because they grew up with the internet. So if they loved music when they were kids, they started researching and taking it all in, and they had infinite access. So I think that there is a new generation of music obsessive snob virtuosos who will put us all to shame.
Good. Well, we look forward to meeting this guy here in London. Send him our
way.
Oh,
you'll see him.
Check him out.
He's in like 7 bands.
Wow.
Because he's an incredible guitar player and drummer.
Yes.
He's a star. Maliki, I hope you're out there. Maybe you're watching.
Maybe.
But I love you. He's a genius.
All right, ladies, guys.
This was great. Thank you so much for having us.
It's amazing.
So much fun.
I'm like the luckiest guy on the internet tonight, hanging out with the three of
you.
You
are.
It's like a real.
You are. This doesn't happen all the time.
It happens twice a week, but not. This is definitely
not us.
Yeah.
International. No, it's an international cabal.
Yeah. No. We're. I think these live streams. I think we'll keep doing it because it's a different experience, and it's a way for people to get to meet the bands and play a few clips and get to know people and spread the word a little bit. So I think it's a fun thing.
Yeah, it's great.
I totally missed live performances, and the three of you for sure would be great shows. So looking forward to seeing you back up on stage before too long.
Me too.
And good luck with all your songwriting and recording activities. And thanks again for taking time to.
It was lovely to meet you all as well.
So lovely to meet you. This was a lovely afternoon.
We'll cross again sometime. That'd be great. I loved the music with you. It was great.
Hopefully in Camden.
This was so fun.
Somewhere. Cool.
Yeah, we'll all come to Camden.
Yeah, that's the place. The place to
Thank
be.
you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.